Thank you. Thank you to everyone who is here, to Uncle Lewis. As always, you have the perfect story to tell when you are welcoming us to the Ghana land that we meet on. The dedication on this memorial reads, "This artwork is for all those whose lives have been profoundly affected by adoption separation practices. For the loss suffered by many, for the ongoing grief and pain experienced by mothers who lost their children and adoptees who lost their identity, heritage and family." On the 18th of July in 2012, the Premier delivered a historic apology on behalf of the South Australian Government for past adoption practices that saw the forced removal of many children from their mothers. On that day, as we do today, we acknowledge the ongoing effects of adoption separation on the lives of many people, mothers who lost their children, adoptees, as well as fathers, siblings and grandparents, aunts, uncles and cousins. We acknowledge the grief and the loss which was inherent in those adoptions and the ongoing effects they have had in the lives of individuals and families in our state. In the movement that brought the Premier's apology, and during the years that have followed, we have seen an increase in the number of people affected by adoption practices who have come forward and spoken about their experiences. Through this, we've had an important opportunity to learn about how the practices of the past affected people, the silence, the loss of identity and heritage, and, as one mother put it, the haunting absence of not knowing what happened to your child. Perhaps one of the most important things to come from the Premier's apology is the breaking of a taboo of adoption, a move to ensure that the silence of the past is over. But while the individual experience of adoption varies significantly from person to person and family to family, the silencing of the experience has been a common thread throughout the stories. I would like to acknowledge the courage and the tenacity of all those who've come forward to share their stories of how adoption has affected their lives. Your stories have informed not only the Premier's apology and the development of this artwork, but also the changes that we are making to the system today. There are many stories that I have found profoundly moving, from mothers who were not told the sex of their baby, who were told that if they cared for their child, they would give them to a deserving couple, and who grieved silently on birthdays. This memorial will rightly stand as a reminder that we must not return to the policies and practices of the past, that child welfare policies must respect the connections between children and their families, and that we must do all we can to support families to look after their children. I would like to recognise the work that Relationships Australia has done through its post-adoption support program to support those affected by adoption practices. And I'd like to pay tribute to Judith Cross, who has announced her retirement, and thank you for all that you have done. The program's been running for 10 years, and I was pleased recently to confirm our ongoing commitment for a further 3 years. Memorials can act as healing landscapes, as a catalyst for collective remembrance and grief, both a reminder of the past and a teacher for the future. This can signify a recognition of past wrongdoings and act as a public declaration of a commitment to make sure that we do not repeat them. My congratulations to the artists Deb Jones and Christine Hawella for their work in delivering and developing the space between, which I am sure will serve this important purpose for those in our state who are affected by adoption separation and help to ensure that their experiences are no longer borne in silence. Thank you.